Good evening, guys. What is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review as I review tonight's episode of SmackDown Live, the September 26, 2017 episode of SmackDown Live. It took place in Glendale, Arizona, and we're going to get right into it really quickly and review this show. And overall, SmackDown was kind of on the same level as Raw was, in my opinion. Except personally, there was some stuff that was pretty awful on SmackDown tonight, but we had some good stuff as well. Which my grading scale is going to be about the same as it was for Raw, but there's a couple things I'm definitely going to be ranting about in this video. But there was some good things I want to talk about as well. So overall, we got a little bit like a back and forth show, in my opinion. We finally got. It's also a night we can say finally, because several things finally happened after some stuff was being dragged out for weeks and weeks and weeks. But we'll get into that when it happens. So how we start off SmackDown Live? We start off with Kevin Owens coming out to the ring. And we're going to see how Shane McMahon will respond to Kevin Owens and if Shane is going to be there tonight or not. As Shane did appear last week on SmackDown, pretty much making it clear that he's going to beat the crap out of Kevin Owens inside Hell in a Cell. So we had that, but Owens comes out and he expresses that he likes Vince McMahon. He respects him. He says, but you saw what I can do to. He basically says, you saw what I can do to somebody that I don't like, that I do like. Wait till you see what I do to somebody that I don't like. I got a tongue twisted. I'll try saying that again. I meant to say Kevin Owens said you saw what I did to somebody I do like, as in the beatdown of Vince McMahon. He says, but when it comes to Hell in a Cell, when I face Shane, what do I do to somebody I don't like? Sami Zayn comes out. I'm like, okay, we haven't seen them fight in a while. I mean, you've seen them have backstage stage segments here and there. He comes out and pretty much tries to talk some sense into Kevin. He's like, do you realize what you're getting into? Like, you got to think about your career and your family, which, somewhat did mean something a little bit because, Sammy and Kevin, they were best friends and they were at each other's weddings and best men. So it's like, obviously, their families, you'd think would be kind of close. And, obviously Sammy somewhat cares about Kevin's family. So he's like, what are you doing here, man? He doesn't want people to suffer from it. So we had then KO pretty much just trashes Sammy's career. Owens mentions what he's done. He's won Intercontinental Championship twice, as he said. He is a technically three-time United States champion. Is that correct? Yeah, three-time United States champion. He went back and forth a little bit with that title over the summer. Well, mainly in July. He's a Universal Champion, which that didn't go too well. So that's the only run that did that was completely terrible was his Universal title run. His Championship runs were fine. His Intercontinental title run was fine. He was also an NXT champion. Don't forget about that. So was Sammy, but that's all he's done. He hasn't really done much on the main roster, except he did beat Kevin Owens in the rivalry at Battleground last year. But apparently, it doesn't matter at all because Kevin Owens went on to do better things, and Sami Zayn just went down on the low card, unfortunately. But Sammy did admit that I may again these two have great chemistry in the ring, both on the mic and when in a match. And Sammy just fires by parents saying okay, I'll admit I haven't had it, but I'm going to do whatever I can to scratch and claw to get there someday. They drop down the mics, looked about the fight. Daniel Bryan comes out, says, yes, you're right, Kevin, Shane is not here yet. We're not sure if he's going to be here in time for SmackDown or not, which usually means he's going to be here by the main event, usually, at least. He says, why don't we have a match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? I'm like, sure, haven't seen it in a while. First time on SmackDown Live. They've had it since they both came over in a Superstar Shake-Up. I'm like, let's do it. So that was our match set up that was going to be the main event for tonight. Then we had a match between Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger, with AJ Styles out there on commentary watching the match. And when this match started, I'm thinking, we've seen this match before. And this match pretty much just shows that this feud between Styles and Corbin is kind of a little bit of a mess. If you think about it, Corbin wanted a shot at the U.S. title. Okay, he takes out Ty Dillinger. He fights Ty Dillinger. Styles gives him an opportunity, and Corbin costs him again. And then last week when Corbin and Styles was supposed to have a match, of course, Corbin takes his shortcuts, as he's been being called the shortcut artist now, which I personally do not like that nickname for him. Sounds kind of crummy and such. Which also, by the way, was just me. I mean, I don't know if I've ever actually taken notice of Corbin's full new theme song, but this sounded like they kind of changed it a little bit yet again. My honest opinion, which made me realize, 2017 has been the year of, tag teams being deleted or the constant changing of theme songs. Ask Baron Corbin. Ask Emma. Ask, actually, there's really only two, really, that have been getting things changed for them lately. But anyways, getting back to this feud. I care about it in some ways, but I just slowly get worried because, I'm still trying to have hope that Baron Corbin is not completely, ruined. But stuff like this, it just made me look at him and think Corbin is slowly breaking apart. I'm seeing the same signs that I saw from Rusev when Rusev started going downhill after he was pretty much buried by John Cena back in 2015. And it's happening to Corbin because we're doing this match again because last week Dillinger cost Corbin his U.S. title opportunity and Corbin twisted his ankle. So okay, so we're just going around in circles here. Nothing is progressing here pretty much in this feud. It's a shame because, I like all three of these guys, even though now it looks like Ty Dillinger is sort of just like a middleman in this feud because he's just, a guy who's getting an opportunity to be involved in this feud, but then he's just becoming the victim in this feud somewhat. And Corbin's always getting hurt, and every time he tries talking, he's always in pain. If you notice, because during the match, towards the end of it, Corbin won because Dillinger didn't make it back in for a count of 10. After Corbin went out, talked some trash to Styles. Styles talked some trash to Corbin. Corbin just dumped through whoever's water was in Corbin's face. In Styles' face, and then he pretty much just threw Corbin and Dillinger and each other over the announce table. And Dillinger did make it back into the ring for the count of 10. So after the match, last week Corbin was talking about how he was going to get his revenge. Last week while he was in pain, and this week his ribs were in pain as he's trying to leave because of the beatdown. He's just Styles, I'm just come on, man, really? You're always, every time you talk, you're in pain. You make me feel like you're more of a broken mess now. We're slowly getting there, which I don't want to see happen because I was loving the momentum now. Baron Corbin totally just cut off his legs right before SummerSlam, and then literally had Cena just bury him at SummerSlam. Saying how he wants to face him one-on-one at Hell in a Cell. So I'm okay, so same thing going to happen again. Is Dillinger yet again going to cost Corbin a match and get involved? There's just no storyline here. It's just a bunch of back and forth going around. Oh, he cost me this time. This person cost me this time. Blah 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 blah. It's just a mess, honestly. So the match they had was all right, but it keeps happening. This feud keeps going around in circles, and it's not progressing or anything. So that was my thoughts on that match. I gotta talk about this next. I'm not gonna go on too long about it because I talked about it enough for the past 3 weeks. 3 freaking weeks in a row. Almost the same exact thing happened. Finally, something different tonight happened. You'll hear me talk about this again a little bit later on. Didn't even bother having shown them come entrance on TV, but Jinder Mahal and the Saint Brothers make their way to the ring. Jinder mentioned how he may have said a little bit of a racist comment in his promo last week, but he pretty much continues to do this. And I like also, he also claims, I heard Shinsuke was pretty upset, which to me last week, I didn't think Shinsuke was upset. It was more so haha, he thought it was funny, but it won't be funny when I beat him for the WWE Championship. So it's again, Shinsuke saying that whole thing I keep saying was, is that all you got? But guys, I was sitting on my floor by my coffee table because I was on my laptop while I was watching the show tonight. And as soon as he started doing that whole picture crap again, I just went like this. right on my table. Head first. I was like, because I can't believe they did this again for the third week in a row. The booking has been crap. Yes, the story here is, Shinsuke got another title shot, but they're doing nothing as far as, I don't know if they'll do next week. Shinsuke saying, oh, you can't win the match without help of the Sig brothers. Like, that's why I feel, this match needs to be different. If this is another one-on-one match, don't put it inside Hell in a Cell. Which I'm still worried, even though there's a week left, I'm worried they're still going to do it, but I still feel like this is not Hell in a Cell worthy match. But yeah, anyways, the third one, like, it was like a picture of Shinsuke like this, but then it started moving, and then Nakamura came out. The Singh brothers tried attacking him, and Nakamura just hit Jinder with the King Shot. So does this mean that Jinder's going to retain at Hell in a Cell? I sure hope not, because imagine it's going to make Shinsuke Nakamura look, he's been up on the main roster since right after WrestleMania, and he has 2 losses on the main roster, and both of those losses are to Jinder freaking Mahal. That's why I literally tweeted begging WWE, here, I will do it live right now. Get on my 2 knees, beg, WWE, Vince, Road Dogg, Kevin Dunn, Michael Hayes, Mark Carrano, whoever the heck is writing this crap. Please, I beg you, on my hands and knees. Well, just on my knees, but my hands squeezing so hard, begging you, at Hell in a Cell, take that title off Jinder Mahal before I blow a fuse. Probably already have, but, who cares? But, so, yeah, finally Shinsuke finally appeared and just shut these cronies up. And, so, yeah, we'll see what happens next week on the go-home show for Hell in a Cell. Then we got a decent match between the Usos and the Hype Brothers. I like this personally because, the Hype Brothers have been having some tension seen between each other lately, as well as, they feel like they have to go a different route in order to start winning matches. I thought maybe a heel turn. Well, obviously either Zack Ryder's turning heel or somebody's turning heel and this thing's split up because, how many more of these tag teams are going to split up this year? Or, the Hype Brothers itself would turn heel. And I feel like that would be more necessary, having the Hype Brothers turn heel, because, I still think, the Fashion Files, which it was advertised they're going to be returning next week. Okay, we haven't seen them since their Season 2 premiere several weeks ago. But I still feel that, this whole thing with Breezango needs to debut the Authors of Pain. But I don't think the Authors of Pain should go up to the SmackDown tag titles quite yet. So, had the Hype Bros turn heel. They still technically have a tag title shot they never got since Zack got injured back at the beginning of January when they won became the number 1 contenders. So they can turn them heel, have them in a New Day feud, and then when the Authors of Pain are ready, then they can feud with the New Day for the tag titles. Just my honest opinion, but we'll see what happens there. But the match, again, between the New Day and the Hype Brothers and the Usos, it was a good match, nothing too spectacular. But again, I like just based on the story, New Day's going in looking strong against, Usos going in looking strong against the New Day. New Day is sitting at the sidelines eating popcorn. And then, there's some tension, as I think it was Mojo tagged himself in, or Zack tagged himself in, 1 of the 2, and they started arguing a little bit. But then they hit the double oos or the drop or the super kick, whatever, whichever they hit on them for the win. I thought, okay, it made sense, reasonable, did what it did. Afterwards, the Hype Bros disappeared. I don't know if they did anything backstage or whatnot after in the Fallout show, but they pretty much just got face to face with the New Day and was like, "You think it's a joke? We're going to take the titles off of you at Hell in a Cell, blah blah blah. That's what we want to do." But then the New Day pretty much said, we don't want this match just to be at Hell in a Cell. We want it to be inside Hell in a Cell. And I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. Because if it's just going to be just a normal, match after the good match they had in the Brooklyn Street Fight, I'm like, no, this needs a stipulation. If they're going to blow up this feud at Hell in a Cell, why not finish it inside Hell in a Cell? And I think it's going to be a spectacular tag match when we get to this match at Hell in a Cell. So it's official. The New Day will take on the Usos inside Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. Oh, gosh. Do I have to talk about this segment also? Oh, my gosh. I don't know what was worse. either these Shinsuke toilet promos with the photos. I mean, tonight's was actually probably the best one since Shinsuke actually did appear and took out the Singh brothers and Jinder, even though I'm worried it's going to lead to Shinsuke losing at Hell in a Cell again. But this was pathetic. And this whole segment right here pretty much made me pencil in this feud as the worst storyline of the year for me. Because I don't know what can get worse than this feud. I'm talking about this this Pride of Bulgaria celebration. First off, why was Aiden English out there? I know he somewhat helped Rusev beat Randy Orton last week in that 9-second forgettable match. But he was out there, singing a song. Rusev, who went back home to his family for like a week or two, and people were upset with him for, losing to not to John Cena. Well, he did lose to John Cena at Battleground, but he also lost to Randy Orton in 10 seconds at SummerSlam. And he says his family was disgraced by him. He says, I want to prove it back. So last week, he literally goes out there, challenges Randy to a match, pushes him into Aiden English as a distraction, hits a super kick, and he beats Orton in 9 seconds. And Rusev is running around like a little kid screaming out, yeah, Rusev's number one, Rusev's number one. Looking like just a guy, a typical, buried heel like Rusev. Sorry, I love Rusev, but right now, he's just a directionless heel who they're going to book as he'll get one crummy, scrappy little win, and it'll make it seem like, acting like someone who's like trying to shove in your face like a sore loser, pretty much, in my opinion. And I'm like, really? You're giving him the key to Bulgaria or whatever the heck they were calling this ceremony, just because Rusev beat Randy Orton in 9 seconds, but he's lost almost every other match besides that. Why? Does not make sense. And to make matters worse, things go on, Aiden English proclaims this Rusev Day, and then while he's singing the Rusev Day song he wrote, Randy Orton comes out and RKO's both Aiden English and Rusev saying just, shut up, this is stupid, pretty much. What's the point of this feud? Guys, what is the point of this feud? What is the story? I don't understand this one bit. This feud began when Rusev won a competition. Orton came out and answered the call like, okay, that's cool. But then Orton kept coming out of nowhere, hitting RKO after RKO on Rusev for an entire week, pretty much owning Rusev. And then whenever it came to the match at SummerSlam, it was a nice pre-match beatdown. Baron Corbin should have done that to John Cena, but that did not happen. We don't want to talk about that. And then when the match actually starts, Rusev gets hit with an RKO, and that's it. He loses in 10 seconds. To now Rusev wanting to, prove wrong to his country because he was a disgrace. He beats him in 9 seconds. He's like, yeah. So Randy Orton's pissed off that Rusev beat him one more second earlier than he did. And what's going to happen? Is Orton going to beat Rusev in 8 seconds at Hell in a Cell? Because afterwards, which I got a little worried because the way it sounded, I thought at first, because Orton came back and saw Renee Young, and he's like, Renee, when Rusev wakes up, tell him I'll see him at Hell in a Cell. Happy Rusev Day. I thought Rusev said, I'll see you in Hell in a Cell. I'm like, they're not going to put this match at Hell in a Cell. If they do, no, because this feud is not worthy of being inside Hell in a Cell. Literally, it's just them beating each other in like 10-second matches. It's terrible. It's pointless. There is no story. Why should I care about this feud? I don't get it. Randy Orton is boring, bland as a babyface. Rusev is getting nowhere. Rusev should be the one in Jinder Mahal's shoes right now. Rusev should have been the one taking the WWE Championship off Randy Orton instead of Jinder. I mean, maybe you can make the argument, okay, maybe it didn't happen because Rusev needed one more month to recover, and they just had to throw someone else in there, so they gave it to Jinder and did the whole thing with we want to promote India and all that bull crap. But this should have been Rusev. I'm sorry. It should have been. And now Rusev's just looking like even more crap. And this segment just finalized me personally saying, that's it. this is the worst segment of the year. So, not, I wouldn't say worst segment. Maybe one of them definitely. I probably would rather watch this again than those gender toilet promos. But this whole feud in general just puts the cap on it as just being atrocious. It's not helping anybody. And also after this, we also have backstage of Daniel Bryan, like Sami Zayn comes in the room and Daniel says, well, Shane's going to be here. Got off the plane. He'll be here soon, probably by the end of the night. But this was a little interesting. Sami asked Daniel to make sure Shane does not come out during his match with Kevin Owens tonight. He says, he's going to get him at Hell in a Cell. But tonight, let him deal with him. He's like, okay, I'll let Shane know. And I thought, so you wonder, kind of you want to know, were they thinking about turning Sami heel at all? I don't know about a heel Sami Zayn. It's an interesting thought. I'm not sure it's like a story, but it's not something I'm going to rule out completely either. But you think, maybe since Sami's been on this cold streak since coming over to SmackDown Live, maybe he kind of agrees with what Kevin Owens is saying about about Shane McMahon and not getting the opportunities he feels he deserves. But then with how the main event went down, I was like, okay, Sami would probably make he lost fair and square, but is the anatomy change or whatnot? But it was just a thought, but it doesn't look like, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Sami's probably still remain a babyface. But then we had a match between Charlotte and Carmella. It was all right, nothing spectacular. James Ellsworth was on the leash. Kind of want to see it a little bit more from Miss Money in the Bank, because ever since they started that tension with Ellsworth and Ellsworth being put on a leash, I feel like there's really not been too much really to the story ever since then. So it's like let's get the ball rolling here a little bit more with Carmella as Miss Money in the Bank. But she hasn't lost a briefcase yet, but we'll see what goes on. There's got to get something going here, because it's starting to been a little flat past couple weeks with Carmella's Miss Money in the Bank. So we'll see what happens. But again, the match is all right. Charlotte wins by pinfall. Natalya comes out, pretty much says, I'm glad your daddy's doing all right, and I'm sure he'll appreciate me still being you at Hell in a Cell. Woo! And just the invitation, just short and sweet. All right, you're gonna make it personal about the family, pretty much. Then cool, whatnot. Speaking of personal or a little too much, and also finally, we've been waiting for this for weeks, but after I think it was right after the advertisement, the Fashion Files were returning next week. We hear a gong, and I'm like, what? He's here? Like, why would he be here? But then I thought, oh, of course. And it happened. Dolph Ziggler came out imitating the Undertaker. Dolph Ziggler came out, just imitated one entrance tonight, and it was the Undertaker's. Now, personally, I don't know how you guys felt about it. I mean, I'm 50-50 about it, because I thought it did produce great heat for Ziggler. He got a great reaction. The crowd chanting, "You suck," pretty much at Ziggler. It was kind of a little expected, especially you see a guy who's like Dolph Ziggler, like 6 feet, like 215 pounds or whatnot, coming down to the ring, and Undertaker's like 6'10", 300 pounds, or like 290, whatever the heck he is. You realize the difference, but Ziggler went this far. But personally, also, I felt that it was a little, if you wanted to imitate the Undertaker, I felt it might have been just a little bit too soon. Even though, the emotions are there, like, is Taker done or is he not? A lot of people think he should be done. I personally think after what happened in his last match, he has nothing else to prove. Him coming back would kind of not quite make sense at this point, honestly. But I still think also it did put great heel heat on Dolph Ziggler. Dolph comes out and says the same thing. What? You guys didn't like that? It's the Undertaker. This is what you guys love. But of course, and they keep saying again, nobody can, anybody can do all these stupid entrances, but nobody can do what I can do in the ring. You're just getting still, you suck chance. And then after weeks of me predicting this and of the rumors as well, finally Bobby Roode makes his first appearance, I think, since his match with Mike Kanellis several weeks ago on SmackDown Live. He comes down to the ring and pretty much just says, you want to back up what you said about you say nobody can perform in the ring like you can. Why don't you back that out and face me at Hell in a Cell, which Ziggler accepts. So we are getting Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler Hell in a Cell. I still wonder, I still have made that prediction in my Hell in a Cell card for a loser leaves WWE match because, Dolph is towards the end of his contract. It would make it a little more interesting, but we'll have to wait and see. But it might just be just a singles match. But it's a good feud to have Bobby Roode in for his first pay-per-view match on Hell in a Cell. Despite the fact that Dolph's booked like crap, he still can put on great matches. I look forward to seeing him and Bobby Roode go at it. And probably tomorrow I'll also be making the Turn Alert video for Bobby Roode as well. Maybe I'll get done tonight, who knows. But yeah, so Bobby Roode is for now a baby face, but we'll see how long that lasts. And then finally we got into our main event, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, the Fight Forever feud. First time on SmackDown Live since coming over from the Superstar Shakeup. Solid match. You always get good matches out of these two, even though I like that how it's been a while since we've seen these two go at it one-on-one. It's a match that I definitely want to see at WrestleMania someday, maybe hopefully main event WrestleMania someday with the WWE Championship on the line, maybe. But yeah. So but I lost my train of thought. But yeah, again, another great match. Halfway during the match, though, it was shown backstage that Shane McMahon had arrived on SmackDown Live. So I'm wondering, okay, is he going to come out and interrupt like Sami asked not to, or is he not going to? It didn't happen. The match ended, though, a way that I'm kind of glad they're actually making this look dangerous again. Because last year there was a couple times, especially right before their Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins last year. Rollins was powerbombed on the apron. That put Sami Zayn out for a month. Down NXT, and it put out Chris Jericho for about 3 or 4 weeks as well. We received that from the Festival of Friendship back in February, and went before Jericho returned at Fastlane to cost Kevin Owens his Universal title at Fastlane. But the match ended when Owens hit a sick-looking powerbomb onto the apron, and Sami's back literally did arch big time. I'm like, yikes! I actually wasn't sure since they had Owens sit down, look like he was calming down, having a piece. I wasn't sure first. Oh, is this actually real, or is this storyline? And I feel 50-50, but probably more so a storyline. It wasn't real, I don't think, because Owens actually did like run out and start attacking Sami to again prove, hey, this is somebody who I don't like. And if I can do what I did to Vince McMahon, somebody I do like, this is what somebody I don't like. He starts attacking Sami Zayn. He's about to pretty much, do what he did to Chris Jericho. He's about to do it to Sami when all of a sudden Shane's music hits and Owens like, come on, you want to come down here? And Shane went running. He pushed Sami into Shane, which I believe like the one of the legs of the chairs to smack Shane in the face and knocked him down. And KO ran through the arena and it was like blew him a kiss going goodbye. He's like, you're going to get it. And that's how the show goes off there. So not too bad. I'm sure we're going to have some big final confrontation between the next week. Hopefully this should be main eventing the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view as well. This should be a very good match. Very interested to see, this is probably going to lead to something bigger down the line. We'll see what goes on. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. That is my live review of tonight's episode of SmackDown Live. Thank you to those who tuned in live, and for those who are watching afterwards, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section as well for what you thought of this episode of SmackDown Live. Let me pull up my polls here to before I give you my final grade for SmackDown Live, as my usual two polls after SmackDown. Let me see here. Aha. All right. So, I got 8 votes for what grade would you give SmackDown Live tonight? 25% said A, 50% said B, 25% said C, and nobody said D. So a lot of people, half of my votes got Bs. Okay. And which show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? 11 votes, 55% said Raw, 45% said SmackDown Live. I'm going to be kind of agreeing there. Both shows were around the same borderline as well. I'm going to give SmackDown the same grade. I gave Raw last night a C because there was some stuff I did like, but there's some stuff I didn't like, especially the stuff with gender and, of course, that thing with Rusev, Randy Orton, whole Rusev Day thing. I didn't enjoy that. But, you know, I did enjoy something of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and stuff with New Day. Stuff with Baron Corbin and the U.S. title was kind of meh. Same with, like, you know, Charlotte and Carmella was, like, kind of meh. Stuff with Ziggler was, like, you know, was what it was. But, you know, average show, C for me. And I think I would give the edge, though, to Raw for this week. So, but yeah, that is it, guys. Again, thank you again for tuning in live this video. Please be sure to click that like and subscribe button for more content to come to this channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93. I should be back up here again live sometime tomorrow night or Thursday morning to talk about tomorrow night's episode of NXT. Should be good as well. And with that, guys, I am checking out. I will see you all later. Until then, guys, have a great night.